blockbuster Shockwave Cinema presents
You're the magician.
Death by Magic, Friday at 8, 7 Central on UPN, hosted by Syndra.
In 1947, aliens crash-landed in Roswell. There was one survivor. 7 days.
Wednesday night at 8 on Oregon's 12.
Super Tuesday 2000, and the heavy hitters come out swinging. Tonight, the winners and the losers. Voters in 16 states turn out in large numbers to support their candidates. Good evening. I'm Kurt Ludlow.
And I'm Anna Katayama. It is make or break tonight for the presidential hopefuls. Gina London joins us with the latest.
It had been touted as the test that would separate the weak from the strong, and now that Super Tuesday is all but virtually over, a distinct line has been drawn. Pundits have long declared this the make-or-break contest for the presidential underdogs. And now, with results in from most of the 16 states, Super Tuesday appears to have delivered a sweep on the Democratic side for Vice President Al Gore.
But while we are here to celebrate great victories, I say to you tonight, and hear me well, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Former New Jersey Senator Bill Bradley was 20 points behind Gore even before the polls opened. Tonight, Bradley admitted defeat, but stopped just short of dropping out of the race.
I just called the vice president to congratulate him on his victories tonight. He won, I lost. And on one level, I agree with Vince Lombardi when he said, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Tomorrow, I'll consult with supporters around the country to get their thoughts.
The more hotly contested race in the Empire State was with the GOP. Early polls show Texas Governor George W. Bush in a virtual dead heat with Arizona Senator John McCain. After the polls closed, Bush was declared the winner and commented on the tight race from his home state.
Campaigns are tough, but this competition, I think, has been good for me. I know it's made me a better candidate. I know it's helped me sharpen my message.
And now for his part, John McCain did call to congratulate George W. Bush from where he was staying in California. And McCain does plan on going to his home state tomorrow in Arizona to reassess, as he says, his campaign. But one of his senior aides is saying that it really does seem that there is no rationale to keep going. Reporting live in New York, I'm Gina London. Now back to you.
And the states that are ahead, Gina, Texas and the 5 others, are considered Bush-friendly states. Isn't that right?
That's right. Is what's going to come up in the week from now on March 14th is really going to be something that long has been predicted as going for Bush anyway. And really what's happened is we just don't have the math in terms of delegates to keep the campaign of McCain going forward. And a lot of his campaign aides are admitting that right now and probably will be telling that to the candidate as he goes back to reevaluate in Arizona.
All right, Gina London, live in New York. Thank you very much.
Two other Super Tuesday notes now. Democrats and Republicans in Washington state have been caucusing all night. We don't have results yet. And this out of California, voters have rejected gay marriage. They've approved a proposition that prohibits that state from recognizing same-sex marriages legally performed in any other state. And be sure to keep it right here on KPTV Oregon's 12 for all the latest developments on Campaign 2000. Up next, the Democrats will hold a caucus in South Carolina on Thursday, followed by primaries in Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming next Tuesday.
Closer to home, tomorrow, police plan to stand guard again at Reynolds High School. A student there told police that during an online chat session, someone had threatened to shoot up the high school. Well, police aren't taking any chances this week. Today, Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies, Troutdale Police, and school security officers stood watch over the 2,300 students. The teens, though, say they aren't all that concerned.
A little bit, but not too much. In some of the classes, there's not everybody is there because they were worried, but I'm not too worried. I think everybody's a little cautious walking in the halls.
There's a lot of cops, and there's a lot of security, and they're watching everybody, and there's teachers standing down every hall, and that's about it. A lot of people didn't come to school.
Now, tomorrow's police presence won't be quite as strong as today, but it will be stepped up. Last night, we asked if you thought schools should cancel classes for any threat to student safety. And here's how you answered our 12 Talkback online poll. 71% of you thought that schools should cancel classes. 28% said no, they shouldn't.
A woman caught drunk driving twice in the same day and ramming her car into a Portland bus will spend the next 2 years in jail. A judge sentenced 30-year-old Kimberly Piazza to 1 year in state prison and 1 year in county prison. Back in July, witnesses say she drove her truck into the TriMet bus after running 2 stop signs and hitting a pole. She'd been stopped and charged with drunken driving in Beaverton earlier that same day.
Closing arguments were made today, and a judge is expected to rule in a week or so on whether an Astoria teenager is mentally competent to stand trial. 17-year-old Patrick Lee Harned faces 2 counts of aggravated murder. He's accused of killing 7-year-old Ashley Ann Carlson and then burying her body in the basement of his parents' home. Well, you can expect to see more inmates loose on Portland streets. Yesterday, Multnomah County had to let 10 inmates go early.
And now the sheriff's office says it could happen again and again. I-Team 12's Carrie Tomlinson is here now to explain why. Carrie?
When the jails fill up, a federal court order requires the county to set inmates free. The sheriff's department has struggled for the last year and a half to keep the jails from reaching that magic number of too many inmates. But finally, they have hit the limit, and that means a system called the Matrix went back into action. It was a celebration for the inmates. In the 80s and 90s, the jails were full. The Matrix computer selected as many as 600 inmates a month and set them free before their time. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office worked to put a stop to Matrix. But now, in the year 2000, the Matrix is back.
I'm afraid so. I don't know how that we can avoid it.
On Monday, 10 people got out early. 1 charged with trespassing, 1 with theft, 2 with criminal mischief, and 6 charged with possession of a controlled substance.
Well, we'd never let a rapist out.
Under Sheriff Mel Hedgepath says the Matrix will not let out people charged with serious crimes, but he is unhappy to see anyone go.
Even though these people are considered to be the least violent, they're still there because they committed some kind of offense, and it's not really right to let them out early.
The Sheriff's Department has come up with creative ways to avoid the Matrix, even asking police to hold off on sting operations until there are more beds. But they say with more people being arrested and tougher sentences, the Matrix will probably happen again and again. Their solution, build a new jail and get voters to approve more money for operations.
Don't have all the space to lock everybody up all at once.
But some voters have a different idea.
I'd rather have the pot smoker out on the streets than the rapist.
Some told us lawmakers should make some sentences shorter and get the non-violent criminals out of jail.
It's not reasonable, but it's lesser of an evil.
But all agree the problem is far from over.
Yes, Matrix is not a thing of the past.
Now, that magic number of too many inmates is a little over 2,000. The Sheriff's Department says they don't think they will have to release as many people as they did in the past, which, by the way, was about 36,000 inmates here in this area in about 10 years. But they do believe they will go over that magic number until a new jail goes up.
36,000, that's shocking.
Yes, amazing. And they're saying the numbers will probably not get that high this time around, but they're warning that we're in trouble.
And you just did a story about this last month.
That's right. We did a story about a man who was arrested over and over again for drunk driving, and he kept getting let out of jail because of the Matrix and because of other reasons over and over again. And so he went for 16 years without ever getting his punishment. In the end, he did, but in our story, we addressed how this Matrix system has been a problem in some cases in the past.
And the new jail is expected how soon?
It is expected in about 2 years, but what they're saying is there's money to put that jail up, but there's not enough money to do operations unless people pass a levy in November.
Money to build it, but not to keep it going.
That's right.
All right.
Thanks
Carrie,
much.
thank you. I-Team 12 is also here to help you, too. You can either call us at 736-0412 or email us at the address on your screen. Be sure to describe your problem, and we'll see if we can help. Well, just days after reopening, a Washington lake is closed again because of dangerous bacteria. New laboratory tests show a strain of dangerous E. coli is still present in Battleground Lake. The lake had just reopened last week to fishing and boating, but a recently caught fish revealed E. coli still present. Washington Health Department originally closed the lake last August.
And we have the story tonight of a 4-year-old boy's amazing recovery. A month and a half ago, William Brown fell into Johnson Creek, and he was in the water for about 15 minutes before a teenager rescued him. Well, this evening, after several weeks in the hospital, including a stay in intensive care, William got to go home.
let the wheelchair fool you. William Brown can stand, he can dance, and he can show off. Just over a month ago, William fell into Johnson Creek and nearly drowned. Because his brain was deprived of oxygen for some time, doctors said
that there would be two scenarios. One, that he could be an organ donor, or that he would be a vegetable. And I just decided that I wasn't going to accept that. And so I called all my friends and we prayed.
Turns out the doctors were wrong. But William still has lots of work to do.
He does have needs as far as understanding what other people say, being able to pay attention to the information, being able to find the words that he needs.
Therapists say he also has trouble making choices. Physically, he struggles with keeping his balance, and nerve damage left his hands weak. The 4-year-old will have to go through months of therapy, everything from speech to physical therapy.
I feel like I'm walking through a fire.
His mom takes the challenges as they come, and so far, she and William are beating the odds.
He's come tremendously far, and I don't think any of us would have guessed he would have come this far, this fast.
Well, Charlene says that she is hoping William will be able to attend kindergarten this fall. He turns 5 years old this August.
Coming up, the fallout from high gas prices. See how you will take a hit beyond the pump.
Also, the problems with healthy food. In tonight's HealthCast, the government cracks down on organically grown foods.
And the beads are flying. Mardi Gras fever hits New Orleans as well as Portland. Join the party at 10:45.
I'm meteorologist Rod Hill on the weather deck tonight. A little bit of very light rain falling. High temperature in Portland, 52 degrees. The low is 35. And notice those numbers are again below normal. So far, it's been a cool start to the month of March. My complete forecast, I'll tell you what to expect rain-wise tomorrow. That's coming up at 10:25.
Tomorrow on Good Day Oregon, incredible feats of strength by the Oasis team.
And also Jerry Frank with family getaways for spring break. And we're going to meet the newest Rose Festival ambassador from St. Mary's Academy tomorrow.
Is this the line for the Ferris wheel?
No, it's the Rick Springfield show.
Rick Springfield? What are you doing? I'm calling Judy.
Hello?
Judy, listen to this.
50 states, one rate, no roaming and no long distance charges. AT&T digital one rate now starting at $59.99. So go back in time. There's no reason not to.
Does nature imitate art, or does art imitate nature? Decide for yourself at our magical new exhibition featuring exquisite works of art by Mother Nature and master glassblower Chris Hawthorne. Now showing our exotic jellyfish exhibit, Beyond Imitation by Anyone.
It has the power of 13,000 trucks, and it's meeting the competition head-on. It's Ford Truck Month, your chance to save big on the best-selling trucks in the Northwest, like Ford Ranger for only $188 a month. That's $188 a month for a 2000 Ranger Super Cab with four-wheel drive, V6 power, CD player, and air. These trucks are moving fast, and at these prices, they may never slow down. So get to Ford Truck Month today at your Northwest Ford store.
The good thing about hurricanes is you can usually see them coming, so we can get there ahead of time. Tornadoes, earthquakes, you don't know about until they've happened. The idea is the more of us at the scene, the quicker we can take care of our customers. When I first took this assignment, I thought I'd do it for a year. That was, 10 years ago. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
It's no secret by now, we all see how high the price of gas is every time we fill up.
Yes, we do. Businesses that rely heavily on gas are also feeling the pinch, and a few of them are now resorting to fuel surcharges, and that could affect you. Mark Pettinger joins us tonight from southeast Portland to explain the latest that's been going on with the gas troubles. Mark?
Well, Anna, if you pull into the gas station to get filled up and you think the prices are higher, well, it's no optical illusion. Prices continue to go up. And the U.S. Department of Energy says that this summer, A gallon of gas that's unleaded will approach $2 a gallon in Oregon. I mean, already here at this gas station, it's $1.73 for the premium brand. Question is, we're paying for it at the pump, but when are we going to start paying for it not just at the pump? At the gas pump, at the produce warehouse, everybody's paying a higher price for fuel. For now, most businesses are absorbing the cost. 6 days a week, this fuel truck is available to fill up the trucks at Pacific Coast Fruit Company. For the fleet of 50-plus semis, that's $25,000 worth of fuel every 2 weeks. That's up 30% the last 7 months. So far, Pacific Coast is not passing on the increased cost.
Generally, what we do see is that during the summer months, that prices do go up some.
But beyond that seasonal adjustment, even people in the petroleum business aren't sure how high the price of gas will go.
Probably in the short run, you're going to be seeing some more increases in prices. But the thing is, you know, beyond a couple months out, it's real speculation as to what's going to happen with the price.
Radio Cab can help you out.
Where are you going tonight?
You should be there any moment.
What's the address there?
Thank you.
For cab drivers, the cost of gas is one of their biggest expenses.
I've been getting a lot of pressure from our drivers.
It wouldn't take an act of Congress for them to raise their prices, just the Portland City Council.
The only way they can make any more money is by charging, working longer hours. The cost to them is about $75 to $100 a month more now than it was just 2 months ago.
Radio Cab hasn't asked the city for a rate increase for almost 4 years. Since January, its cost per gallon of gas has gone up 30 cents. One driver in this driver-owned company says raising rates, though, would be bad business.
You got to find a way just to kind of buckle down and absorb it. You have to. I mean, to take it from the little old lady who's getting her groceries home and things isn't the right idea.
But some organizations, some companies are already passing on the higher price of fuel. One trucking company we contacted today, Viking Freight, says since last August, they've tacked on a surcharge, a fuel surcharge of 2.5% to its shipping bill. But several retailers we talked to today said so far they've not been passing on the higher fuel prices in terms of prices reflected, say, in the supermarket, Anna, or when you go into a variety store. So far, those companies are absorbing that slight increase in fuel.
Is there any word on how long folks are expecting prices to keep going up for gas?
Well, generally everyone we talked to today, including the fuel retailers and some of the fuel suppliers, as well as some of the trucking companies, indicated they're expecting through summer, maybe even longer than that they're going to be paying at least what they're paying now, if not a lot more.
All right, Mark Pettinger live in Southeast Portland. Thank you very much.
Tonight, the Oregon AAA has gone to court to stop a lawsuit over Measure 82. That's a controversial gas tax plan that would eliminate the state's weight mile tax on semis. The lawsuit was filed by supporters of Measure 82 to stop the AAA from lobbying against it. AAA says Measure 82 would cost Oregon drivers $100 million a year more and give trucking companies $200 million in tax breaks.
Meantime, the ACLU is suing the city of Seattle over the no protest zone that was declared during the World Trade Organization conference. The ACLU says that the city violated the free speech rights of 7 people who were stopped because they had anti-WTO button stickers and signs. The suit is asking for money and also for a court ruling that the no protest zone was wrong and should not be repeated.
Tonight, a second bomb threat stops work at the Umatilla Chemical Depot. Investigators say someone phoned in the threat early this morning. 1,000 employees were evacuated. FBI bomb squads searched the building. They didn't find anything. The depot stores thousands of tons of chemical nerve agents scheduled to be destroyed next year. Now, a similar threat was made 2 weeks ago. A bomb wasn't found then either.
The Port of Portland wants control of a pollution cleanup project along the Willamette River. The multi-million-dollar project is currently in the hands of the EPA. But port leaders say that if they take it over, the cleanup from Swan Island to Sauvie Island will not only be cheaper, it'll also be finished more quickly. The port's proposal comes only 3 weeks before the EPA's deadline to fund the project with federal money.
Meanwhile, on the Columbia River, renovations at Bonneville Dam could create more power and save endangered salmon at the same time. Engineers are in the midst of a multi-million-dollar project replacing old energy-generating turbine blades with some new ones. David Wilson explains how these blades may make for safer fish passage and greater efficiency in producing power.
Inside Bonneville Dam, the rushing waters of the mighty Columbia River turn a new type of power-generating turbine.
That's where the blades will connect to the hub right there.
In the bowels of the dam, workers piece together what's called a minimum gap runner turbine. 2 are already operational. Another, this one, will be online by May. It's projected that the blades of the minimum gap runner will produce 2 to 3% more hydroelectric power than the traditional turbines already in place here at Bonneville Dam. The hope is that they will save more fish, too. The minimum gap runner's blades operate with little to no space between them, so there's less chance to physically harm young migrating salmon in steelhead.
It provides a smoother surface for them to pass through the turbines with. It doesn't have a little nook or cranny where they can be severed or they could be cut.
The Army Corps of Engineers recently spent $2.5 million studying the effects of MGR turbines on juvenile fish. Biologists found the new turbine improves fish passage by 1 to 3%.
When you have a fish run of 60 million fish, that 1% makes a significant difference.
There's still a question of long-term survival and how well the fish will do.
Biologists say they need to conduct more tests on the minimum gap runner turbines to determine the long-term effects on fish and how they may impact wild stocks of salmon and steelhead. In the Columbia River Gorge, David Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
The Army Corps of Engineers plans to replace all 10 turbine generators at the dam over the next several years. If things test out okay, more Columbia River dams could be equipped with these turbines, generating more power and saving more fish.
And maybe you heard about this. Portland Mayor Vera Katz is featured in an article that appears in a national business magazine. The magazine is called Fast Company, and Mayor Katz is interviewed for an article about customer service. She says the best way to find out how well she is serving her customers is to ask. She says asking people how they feel and responding to them is more important these days than it ever has been. Well, the boys 4A basketball tournament started today at Memorial Coliseum, and the team to beat is top-ranked Jefferson High.
Nobody has been able to defeat the Jefferson Democrats all season long, and today's first-round opponent was no different. Tim Becker is here now with tonight's highlights.
This is a great team. If anybody out there hasn't had a chance to watch Jefferson play, I suggest going down to Memorial Coliseum and watching them, especially if they get into the semifinals against Jesuit. That'll be a great game Friday night. Jefferson is trying to become the first team to go undefeated all season, gang, since Wilson High and a guy named Damon Stoudemeyer did it back in 1991. Jefferson ranked #1 in the state, #4 in the country, taking on the Dallas Dragons and scoring right off of the opening tip. Brandon Brooks gonna pull up and sink a 3. The Demo scoring 30 points in the first quarter. Brooks to Antone, Jarrell, the slam, and it is 16-8. Dallas stayed within 10 points, and that's good, gang. After one quarter, Brad Baylor collecting 2 of his 14 to keep them close. But second quarter, Jefferson opens a 25-point lead. Michael Lee with an easy bucket there. And then the up-tempo stuff again. Jarrell leading the attack with 20 points, hammers away on the break. They would shoot 62% for the game. That is very good, by the way. John Tinnen get a chip in right there, and Jefferson advances easily with a 94-65 win over Dallas. Other highlights later. Meantime, it's time for Hot Shots, a look at all the wild, weird, and sometimes bizarre events of the day, not always in sports either. Take, for example, this. In northern Italy, they have what is called the annual Orange Festival, and it's downright barbaric. What you see is what you get. They simply wail on each other as hard as possible with thousands of oranges.
It's great fun throwing oranges at the beginning of the fight. It does hurt after a while, but then you get used to it, and it's great.
Great, unless you're one of the almost 200 people injured. 30 of them had to be taken to the hospital with eye injuries and broken noses. Apparently, the tradition dates back to the Middle Ages when it was first used as a way to chase off a much-hated feudal lord.
No kidding.
Yes.
Always pay a price for some good fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, meteorologist Rod Hill has a pinpoint forecast that you'll want to hear about. It's coming up in just a minute.
Also, allergy attack. The warm weather brings on sniffly noses and red eyes early this year. The newest ways to fight the pollen at 10:31.
Plus, some missing Oscars. A real-life mystery unfolds in the world of the Academy Awards. That's coming up as the 10 o'clock news continues.
Unleash
nation fights to survive.
Stop the board.
By any means necessary.
They're using children as bait.
On an all-new Voyager.
Wednesday night at 9 on Oregon's 12.
Please approach Portland International Airport ready for a slight change. The PDX upper roadway will be closed until May. I know, I'm sorry, but hey, you could use the parking garage, though, or drop off passengers at the new quick drop area just before the garage. Why? Because we're getting our new canopy connecting the terminal to the garage and separating you from the rain, just in time. It's going to be swell. For PDX construction updates, call 1-877-PDX-INFO.
Jerry, hi. Yeah, no, hold on a second. Uh-huh. No, okay, yeah, I'm approving it right now. Okay. Bye. Jerry, I will have it tomorrow, okay? I promise.
Snow level out east will be about 4,000 feet. Pendleton, 49 degrees. Columbia River Gorge tomorrow, look for 49 at the Dalles, and the ongoing chance of some light rain, borderline sprinkles at Cascade Locks, a temperature of 50. Again, in the morning is when that weak boundary comes, so maybe there will be a better chance of rain around 7 o'clock to noon. 46 at noon, 50 at 5 o'clock. And yes, the raindrops look worse than they actually will be. 7-day numbers. Thursday still looks like it could be a dry day, eventually getting some sun. And then Friday, a more likely chance of rain. Saturday could go either way, but now it looks like a better day than Sunday, with a chance of showers more likely on Sunday, a temperature of 53. A friend of mine chewed me out today for saying there's a cloud on each and every day, but also some sun as well. Okay, the latest member tonight for the 2000 Rose Festival court, the latest ambassador. This is Megan Elizabeth Hall. Megan attends St. Mary's Academy High School. Yes, she's shocked and incredibly humble, and looks like she could break out in song or start crying at any second there. So congratulations to her. Again, that's Megan Hall from St. Mary's Academy.
Yeah, that's good to see.
Oh, boy.
A lot of fun.
Thank you, Rodney.
So much, Rod. In tonight's HealthCast, a new study finds that new benefits may come from a drug that is already used to save the lives of heart patients. Now, according to the study, the drug, which is a beta blocker, can also ease symptoms, and it can also cut down on hospitalizations. Beta blockers help to reduce the heart's workload. Now, you can read more about this study in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Also, some medical experts believe that sometime this century, there will be a cure for cancer. Already, new discoveries are reducing the need for radical surgery and also for chemotherapy. Doctors are working on finding therapies that are tougher on the cancer and easier on the patient. Among the treatments being developed is gene therapy. And the USDA has announced some new guidelines to regulate the organic food industry. Any food labeled as organic must come from businesses which allow animals access to pastures and to outdoor land. The businesses cannot use pesticides, antibiotics, irradiation, sewage sludge, or genetic engineering on any of its crops.
There's something in the air that is causing headaches, itchy eyes, and running noses. It's pollen. It is almost spring, so that means allergy season is here. But doctors say you don't have to suffer anymore. Drew Mickelson joins us with some new and old ways to keep allergies manageable. Drew, there are a lot of us that can't wait to hear about this.
Yeah, you know, Kurt, there are a lot of people who like the idea of the cold, old man winter going away, but millions of Americans dread this time of year because it means sneezing and some stuffed up noses. But between advances in herbal treatments and in general medicines, many allergy sufferers don't have to suffer anymore. Spring is coming, and with it, flowers, trees, and allergies.
He's got a little bit of everything.
Portlander Jamie Albert says his allergies used to severely slow him down.
I had shortness of breath. I had a hard time running, exercising, lifting weights, actually doing almost anything.
There you go.
But now he gets weekly allergy shots that have halted his symptoms.
I've been feeling a lot better since I came here.
Doctors at the Allergy Immunology Clinic in Tigard say most forms of allergies can be effectively treated.
Certainly if your life is being really impaired, you probably need to see your doctor for sure. If mild symptoms don't respond to simple things, then you need help.
Doctors say over-the-counter antihistamines work well for most mild sufferers, but some of the pills cause drowsiness or even excitability in patients.
This is something that actually deals with symptoms, so it's relief.
There are also natural and herbal treatments for allergies. Heather Hines says they're some of her store's hottest selling items.
People come in during particular seasons, they come in and they, oh my God, don't run out. Have to have it, can't breathe without it.
Pine says some of the natural medicines work for her customers without any side effects. So she thinks allergy sufferers should try them before going to the doctor.
Always consider your natural options first, because if those don't work for you, if you don't feel comfortable with your results, if you haven't been able to get enough information, there's still the option of going to a physician.
As we reported yesterday, researchers announced that using the popular antihistamine Benadryl might affect drivers more than drinking alcohol. While that is still being debated, it is a fact that some of those antihistamines can cause drowsiness. So if you plan on taking any allergy medicine, you should pay close attention to whether or not it's the non-drowsy kind. Kurt?
And we'd like to know, are your allergies acting up this week? That is tonight's 12 Talkback Online poll question. Log on to our website at Oregon's 12.